I moved from BC to Calgary, and then from Calgary to Edmonton, and found these guys in the local newspaper, the View magazine, and went and auditioned for them, and this is where I am today, and I'm loving it. Something like that. I'm happy, and great bunch of guys, best guys I've ever got along with in a project, and
5 years further, a band from Edmonton, Alberta. Originally formed as Toxin 10 years ago by high school friends Cameron Boone and bassist Lex Kaczynski. After acquiring lead guitarist Travis Seufert 5 years ago and drummer Chris Da Silva 2 years ago, they changed their name and laid the groundwork for who they are today. Their unique and polished sound is that of a band willing to go the extra mile to create an original version of hard rock.
Our sound is, I guess it's like every other band that, when you start writing, you take influences from this, a little bit from that. Like some of us are a couple of years older, younger, so we obviously listen to a little different music in, the years that we were growing up in our mid-teens, teenage years. And, grunge, Metallica, some of the newer modern stuff. It certainly has its place in each of our tunes. Like we might bring in a riff that kind of works really well in this tune, that has an influence that we could, see like, hey man, I remember hearing something like that back in the mid '90s or around 2000 or just yesterday on the radio, and something we can incorporate into one of our tunes.
Strong vocals lead hard driving riffs, backed by technical fluid drumming, as heard on their newly released album Infinite Beginnings.
We figured instead of investing all our money into one recording, we figured we'd put it all into making the studio for the album, and then we can continue to make more albums and with much less cost later on. But yeah, I mean, there was a big learning curve. So though it took us a year and a half to do it, because it was a hard process. I mean, had to recorded it, didn't like the way it was. Recorded it, didn't like the way it was. It was almost like we had to learn how to be recording engineers as well as musicians. So.
With a tendency to write about darker personal issues, their talent lies in their ability to produce technically proficient and intelligent songs, seemingly without effort.
It's all about the creative process when it comes to music. It's all about sitting down with nothing and coming out with something great that can impress people, can move people, and get them to react in some way. It's all about getting people to jump and smash their heads against each other.
Find a way out. Give it up, it's time to leave it all behind. Give it up, it's time to say goodbye. And hold on to me, show me the moment. It's beautiful.
The thing about great bands are bass players and drummers. If you don't have that connection together, you're not going to get a great band. Chris and Alex together are fucking phenomenal. They're tight like this, man.
Their live performances show us they have fun playing together. Frontman Cameron Boone leads the way, delivering an electrically charged atmosphere, greatly admired by an ever-growing fan base.
The stage show is amazing for me. It's kind of like, it's like a release in itself. A lot of people ask me, you get nervous on stage, and I think, no, I'm less nervous on stage than I am for the most of my life. It's like the one place I do feel at home. I feed off the audience. I feed off the people. Every time I see an audience, someone from the audience going crazy, it just makes me want to go that much more crazy. It makes me want to do that much more for them.
The show's really high energy. They've got a really good kind of a classic rock sound. It's high energy riffs, and you really get into the band. It's a great party atmosphere. I can't say enough good things about them.
Any fan of hard rock would do a great injustice to their record collection if they were to not include 5 years further within it.
Drop! I used to think that you were just like me, suffocating inside, but now I see right through. It's just a matter
People ask me where I come up with my song ideas. I like to take myself out of my element. I don't know, I just come up with shit.